I could hook that up, actually, thinking about it. If I had this bridge here instead, so it gave priority to this system, but if it couldn't, if it was backed up, it would leak out and go up into this one. But the only thing I would need to do is to ensure that this system never dropped below a certain level. So I'd need a liquid shutoff out here that responded to this. That if this dropped below a certain threshold, like if this turned green because it was at 10%, then it would send a signal over here that would be reversed and shut down the valve, allowing any liquid to exit this system. That might not be a bad idea. Having a cooling loop in a room you want hot steam flowing around in is confusing me. Right, okay, so the reason for that is that these, they will always just add more and more and more and more heat. So this cooling loop is really only there to prevent the coolant getting to the point that it's going to flash into sour gas and then break the pipe. That would be atrocious in here, because I would have to vacuum out the entire room, all of the steam, everything. It would take me dozens and dozens of cycles to do to get rid of that problem. Right now, these exist to prevent these from ever allowing the temperature in this room to rise above the point that these things would start breaking, which is 250 degrees. And also to prevent the petroleum ever flashing in the event of this smelter adding too much heat. Hello, Murder of Phoenixes. What a fantastic name you have, my lord. Yeah, I want it hot. Like, the room will turn water to steam at 102 degrees. My steam engines will stop getting any real benefit out of hotter steam at 200 degrees. Everything in here will break, if it can break from heat, at 250 degrees. So realistically, I want the cooling to kick in if the heat of this liquid gets above 200 degrees. Because that's really where I want the sweet spot to be. At 200 degrees, if the petroleum was exactly 200 degrees when it ran some steel, it would come out at let me see, does it give me that information? I might not do there. Used to. Helps when it's not auto-saving. Actually, yeah, here we go. If we look at this, it'll add 132. So the petroleum coming out of that will be 332 degrees petroleum. We'll need to cool that down. Because if that got entered again, it would be near to the point where petroleum will turn into sour gas, where it will boil. That would be super bad. That would be a very, very, very sad panda. How long we got on that? Another 17 cycles. We've actually been doing okay on the amount of natural gas we stocked up. Do still need all of this done, though. No one is available to do it, unless the Long Hoff is literally on their way. Nope, Long Hoff decided to do something else. Wanted food. You know what? I can understand that one. That's fine. You're allowed to decide to not do work in favor of, getting noms. It's fair. But I am actually starting to get a little bit concerned. Mostly because these things are... We need this up and running so that we've got power when this runs out. If we can get that up and running by the end of this stream, I will consider it an enormous success. And most of our problems will be solved. How are things going over here? Going good. We're getting rid of a lot of the heat in here by siphoning it off out of the CO2 that's been building up. That is really good. Now let's have a quick look at the time. In about 30 minutes, we're going to go on a break. It's sunny outside. The sun has come up. Ra has been born. Right, there's no more petroleum in this system for me to worry about. So I'm going to start just pulling everything down that I don't need. Want all of these cables gone. That pump no longer works. I need to hook it up to something else. These cables can be gone. Yeah, I'll hook this pump up to these wires. Look at that. Travinix, thank you very much for gifting another sub. That's so kind of you. Thank you, mate. Now, one of the things that I'm noticing is A, well, the base is bloody hot. B, we're not hurting for food. I'm continuing to pull down the amount of crystal berries that we're using, and we are really not hurting for food. I am beginning to believe that we may yet be, that doesn't need to be active, nor does this one. I'm going to drop off 2 of them at this point. Deconstruct pipes, please. I think we're getting to the point now where the shovels are completely sustaining the colony at their current level. In fact, wow, okay, no, what's happened there? Why do we not have power? Dangerous. That needs to be done right now. This is the problem with using the shut-off valves, is if you run out of power, they stop working. I'll take some copper ore. But yeah, no wonder we've been dumping all of this water down there. We've not been filtering it for anything. And wow, how did oil get? Well, no. I'm getting all kinds of weird liquids in everything right now. I disapprove. Massive amounts of disapproval are happening right now. I think I need to... Unfortunately, I need another liquid filter over here. I could go to a mechanical liquid filter down there, though. But this absolutely needs a liquid shut-off. That's just the way that one works. The water is starting to build up again. Mind you, it's going to be being turned to steam because that's extremely hot water going through there. Right, want this on a... What have I got the other ones up to? 7. Call this if the battery's below 25%. Someone needs to go run on that one. In fact, since this is giving the water for my electrolyzers, I'm going to put that on an 8. That is now life support level of priority. So, this should stop causing an issue. Why is that locked? This doesn't seem right. What's happened here? One germ is in there currently. This is what I dislike about the below. 0, it can't have less than 0 germs. It can't have negative germs. So at some point that got weirded out. But it's reading current germs 1. Go into the germ overlay. Well, if I look at that, this shouldn't be germs generally moving through there, but well, it probably is. No, there's no germs in here. This system is so hot, germs can't exist. There isn't even any germs in this polluted water, and that's where germs breed. Hey, Zach. The next Horizon Zero Dawns will probably be after this one at some point. I was going to stream that tonight, but I noticed a couple of peeps talking in on the Dapadel, and they mentioned that I may have more than one stream's worth of Horizon Zero Dawn left to play through. And one of the big things that was attracting me to the idea of playing Horizon Zero Dawn is that we're really close, or I felt we were really close to the ending. And so I was really excited to continue the story and to get through that. But it's like, oh, right, so we're not actually close. Poop. So I wanted to get a bit of a backlog of this going so that when I do start streaming Horizon Zero Dawn, I can stream it until it's over without necessarily having a break in the amount of Oni that's going up on the channels. Well, yeah, that's going to happen, I suppose. Oops. Oh wait, no, we're just raining it down here, aren't we? Yeah. No, that's going to happen. I guess that vent is no longer useful for us, so we may as well at least deconstruct it. Oh, you finally managed it. Hooray! Nature Reserve once again. Okay, this can go now. Well done, little Pip. Once this is gone, we'll pop in a nice genius marble structure, marble sculpture or something like that. And it'll be grand. But yeah, that's the problem with things that are above or below, but never have the greater than or equals to or less than or equal to operations as well, or comparisons rather. Well, that's interesting. I've not seen that Twitch alert before. It was like a for my eyes only kind of Twitch alert. But, interesting. Right, let's get all of this done. If this is above 200 degrees... No, wait. No. I need this coolant to be... we're going to say 50. Keep that room nice and chilly. If it's above 50, then I want it to cool. That was almost a derp there. Almost, but not quite. I'm getting things close now. Very close. What I am likely going to do is have a little hamster wheel up here with a... no, I won't do that because I want this to ultimately dump energy into the main system. We'll see. We'll see how I set that out. I'll probably have to have a transformer over there, and I'm just going to run this heavy watt wire all the way down. Oh my god, that's going to be so far. Yikes. It's got to get all the way down to here, basically. Now, I'm fairly certain that this is not actually powering that much. I can run the heavy watt wire to it. I can't do it over there. So I'm going to need a transformer here. Well, that's one of the only other places I'm going to need one, so that's fine. Right, who that? I'm back. Thank you very much for the 5th month, mate. Diolch yn fawr, buddy. Nice try, Annie, but there was no derp there. Don't worry, I'm sure you won't have to wait long before there is, but that one wasn't one. Now, a derp counter that doesn't actually count derps is scarcely a derp counter. Yeah, that's fine. If it is below, then it sends green. That's good. Now, how are we handling that? That one's already actually been hooked up with automation, I believe. Yep, that's all set up. Why is that not being made? Is anyone going to come and build this? Oh, it's construction supply. You know what? I'll pop that up to an 8. I've got a lot of things that people are currently trying to supply items to. I need this done. Probably the same thing over here, isn't it? Construction supply? No. Okay, never mind. I'll just wait then. We're draining that system. Right, okay. Getting there slowly. Again, this is going to be the room for... Actually, why am I having this run out of each door? I can just have them all connect up here. That would save a lot of... That would actually save me a fair chunk of carpet by doing that. Can I not place it? Oh, I can't. There must... Ah, right, I can't because the... No, what am I trying to break? Nothing. The storage bin. That's a shame. But, oh well. 'Tis a thing. Still managing to get rid of a decent amount of this liquid on the ground, though. I'm actually reasonably impressed with how well that's working. Is this petroleum? It is. Oh my lord, I've got so much to do. Not enough power down here, but that's okay. Yeah, it's starting to accumulate CO2 again now because of the lack of power, but I've got 14 cycles left to go. Not that that's going to increase things that much, because actually we're running on backlog. That wasn't adding enough power. But once I've got a couple of these set up in here, in fact, let's have a look at these now. What's the overheat temperature? I'm going to have to make it out of... Yeah, I have to make it out of steel. Gold amalgam would work, but I don't have enough of it. Whereas I've got stupid amounts of steel. Problem is, where's the liquid pipes on these? The liquid pipes are along the bottom, aren't they? Because of course they would, because that's just... Oh wait, no. No, they are not. Oh, of course, these are gas pipes. Right, yeah, okay. That's fine then. So at this point, I'm going to want a lot of these. They are going to produce a shocking amount of heat. I am starting to wonder, though, for how often I have to run these things. If I should have storage of refined metals in there. Mightn't it be better if I just had a storage of refined metals outside and then a ladder up to each level and they can just grab the metals and go in? Might actually be a better system. Shunt these across then. This can be made of copper and it can stand here even though it's going to slowly melt my brain if I do. maybe... Oh, no. Cancel. Maybe instead I should make this an extra layer taller and just have 2 layers of... This is the thing, is I don't need the battery in here. I can have the battery outside. Batteries being down here would be even better because then I could run cabling to control all this, and that would be even better. To that end, moving these across, but there's no point in me having more of those right now. So okay, yeah, I take it back. We do need that right there, and then eventually we'll have another layer of them as well, because we've got a lot of natural gas. We've got a lot of things that produce natural gas too. Time check, Aavak. I heard you mentioned you wanted a break. Let me have a quick look. How long are we going? Yeah, got another 10, well, another 13 minutes. The Bobble. I have about 600 hours on this game. Only had like 5 good worlds. And... Annie. I have 45 hours and 0 good worlds. I raged so hard that my PC uninstalled the game for me. Oh, poor Annie. That is going to use up so much. So much of our poor. I'm actually starting to think that having this... the reason I couldn't install it is because there was already a wire bridge. I get you. Alright. I'll install this here. I am then going to install this one. I'm going... Yeah, we're going to move around the position of our bridges here. Let's get rid of that one. That all needs to stay. But this can go as well. We'll have the power run along here instead. That works. I still like the idea of not having the container in one power room over any of the others, though. I quite like the idea of that. What I could do in this room is actually move the... Let's have a second container for petroleum, so I've got a little bit more of a backup. If I really wanted to, I could shift all of this across and fit in one more petroleum generator. Oh! And that would be the maximum that I could run off a single tank of... on the output of a single tank. Because you can run 5 petroleum generators off a full packet of petroleum. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe making room for a good many natural gas generators would be a wise move. I have the game on Steam, but it's just intimidating trying to learn to play it. I just don't have enough time at home to put in the effort to properly learn the game. I work a lot away from home. I can completely understand that. One of the reasons why I haven't gotten into Crusader Kings or EU4 in any big way. They just intimidate me with the amount that I'd need to learn before I could play it properly. Of course, that is probably going to change with the release of Crusader Kings III. Just saying, there will probably never be a better time for me to jump into it. And so, I am inclined to do so. We will be having Crusader Kings III streams. I'll probably do a... what I'm thinking of doing is a first tasty sort of thing. Like a pilot episode on my main channel. Yeah, that just lets people know I'm going to be doing it. And also goes over some of the realities, and that is that I dipped my toes into Crusader Kings 2. I've never really had time to learn it, so I am a complete new player to it. And, so, eyes wide open if you decide to want to learn along with me. But to invite people that, I have the Backseat Gaming tag on a lot of my streams for a reason. I enjoy learning. And who better to learn it from but than people who are quite knowledgeable. There are caveats with that, obviously. But, yeah. And then I'll be streaming it from that point on. At least for the first couple of playthroughs, because they're very long playthroughs, and I am going to be making so many mistakes, and I will benefit enormously from real-time help. That's the biggest thing, is I will benefit hugely from having someone there who can offer me real-time help and explanations over things, rather than having to suffer through like watching 2-hour-long episodes of me making a silly mistake that the moment the first video went up, everyone was telling me, no, it's an easy mistake, but this is what you got wrong. Poop. Deconstruct. Is there anywhere here that can handle that power, that heat? Yeah, I could rebuild them over here. This is like the 3rd or 4th time I've rebuilt these bloody things. Ugh. Right, well now I need to go and get more copper then. Planeseeker, take care, mate. I'm nodding off at the computer. Night all. Thanks for the stream. Well, thank you for being here. It was a real pleasure, mate. Thank you. Oh, that's fine. First tasty, most tasty. Bilal, I've never played it. I'll be sure to give you loads of help. You have no idea how much of a pain in the bum that particular scenario is. I am not unfamiliar with it. Given that I play a lot of games that come out that are available to me so early on in their development that I'm amongst some of the very first people to ever play the game. One of my biggest pet peeves is not when people try to help me just by observing things, because frankly, I've got one pair of eyes and half my brain is preoccupied with what I'm going to say next rather than actually watching the game. I miss loads of things while I'm playing. And anyone in the comments may very easily and very realistically have a significantly higher chance of noticing something because they're paying more attention to the game than I am. That's the reality of Let's Playing. But the kicker is when they present their observations as fact. That can become very, very frustrating. When people are telling me that I've done something wrong and telling me how to do it right, and then I accept that advice on the basis that they sound so confident. They're presenting it with such confidence, and I assume, oh, maybe you've had access. Maybe this was in Kickstarter and you got an alpha or something, and then it's completely wrong. And I was doing it right the first time. And it's like, you could just preface it with, I think, rather than, you did this wrong. I think you did this wrong. Makes a world of difference. It really does. Easily one of my biggest pet peeves in Let's Playing. Easily one of my biggest pet peeves is that one. And that in general, actually. I think there is nothing wrong with honestly offering your opinion and your input on something that you don't know for certain. I think there's no issue with that whatsoever. It's when you don't correctly identify it as something you don't know for certain that I'm like, oh, really? Come on now. Was that necessary? We want to know what you are. Let's find out. Tonk. Dig in a little bit. Loads of copper. Hello. Decent amount of copper over here. Hello. Let's get as much of this out as we can while we're here. Oh my lord, this sand. Gonna be a pain in the bum. Start harvesting what we can, where we can. That's gonna be a problem, isn't it? I'm gonna cancel this a bit further back. Like that. So that I can create a well in here to catch all of this oil. I'm probably realistically gonna dig that back. Oh my. Haven't the Space Peter knocked on the door yet? Can they find me? I look like just a normal old asteroid, unless you look very carefully. You can see this tiny little ladder, but half the time that's buried in regolith too. If you're talking about the shovels, I feel a little bit bad, yes. On the plus side, they are actually being fed. There's quite a lot of regolith that they get fed, thank you very much. Look, no starving critters, and there's ridiculous amounts of them in there. Okay, they're glum, okay. Right. Pretend you didn't see that yet. I would consider it a personal favor if we just pretend that I didn't try to point that out and that I actually proved the point against myself. Well, yeah, that's the thing, Bilal. I mean, that, you know, with what I said, just being said, you know, it's easy to put "I believe" in front of things. I know a lot of people don't, and they don't do it with any malice. And heck, even sometimes I forget to on something I'm not 100% certain on, but I'm in such a rush or I'm so excited about it. I'll present you know. I'm not ignorant to the fact that sometimes people are just excited to try and help, and that's all it is. And I temper my reaction accordingly. But there are some repeat offenders. There are some repeat offenders, and for better or worse, within most game communities, the creators who frequent those communities and produce content of those communities, Paradox is a very good example. You know, many communities within that, CK2, EU4. We don't live in bubbles. And when one of us notices a repeat offender, most of the rest of us learn of them. There are lists. There are literal lists of names that go around. Now, of course, that isn't something you tend to do for just someone who's just, you know, honest mistake. You know, you have to really, really do this for a long time. And despite people having talked to you about it a few times, for you to end up on one of those lists. But those lists exist. And I sometimes think that people don't realize that. They don't realize that we actually all talk to each other. Welcome back, Mojo. Hope you enjoyed your lunch, mate. I need to hook this up pretty soon. Oh dear. Well, I mean, I'm feeding you. Okay, look, I'm presenting plenty of food. What you're doing is you're being greedy. One of you will eat to complete capacity and the others will starve. I can't be held responsible for that. I totally can. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Bilal. At like convenience stores, you know, there are photos on the wall of like, yeah, don't serve this person. You know, they've acted in bad faith so often that it can no longer be down to them just not realizing it. And in fact, conventions have that a lot. There are a lot of that kind of stuff at conventions, because there are just some people who, it isn't that they don't know, they refuse to learn. And after a point, you have to kind of dial back and be like, we're investing so much effort in this that we're not getting our jobs done. We could invest our time so much more constructively elsewhere. Oh, wait, that's never going to be built because it's an invalid location. I'm a derp. Okay. Buildings. Let's go ahead and choppy downy the ladderies. Carefully. Gonna replace... Well, actually, I guess I'm not gonna replace the edges with granite here. I want to, but, well, I could. Because it's just extra thermal mass. It's extra mass that I can hold temperature in. Once it gets hot enough, and it'll take longer because it'll have to heat up, but once it's hot, it will be an extra vector to add heat into the room through. Aavak, if you're starving the foals, why not just make a spa? I'm not starving them. They are occasionally starving each other because they're greedy. There's no bonds of brotherhood or sisterhood between the voles. They're just gobbling whatever they can. It's so horrible. How dare they? One of them could be there, barely hungry at all, but decide to chow down on a juicy morsel while there's a vole pup hasn't eaten in cycles. Doesn't even know what eating feels like. Awful. Though realistically, I'm not evolving them in an evolution chamber because I actually want to. I want to let their population continue to grow. I could start moving them out, honestly. I could start letting them out. But an evolution chamber requires more energy. It requires all sorts of things to do. And I'm happy to just allow them to continue increasing their numbers because I'm occasionally feeding them regolith and then just grooming them. You know, they are sustaining their population at this point. Or in fact, their population is growing. Right. Now that... See, the reason why I brought this in here is because this does generate heat by itself. I guess. That's an interesting thought. What if I have the conveyor rail over here instead? Bear with me, chat. We do something a little bit like this instead. We disconnect that, we move that across there, and I have the conveyor loader in here. So you go up there, you load the regolith in, it gets piped out and into the system, and eventually it comes back as just iron. The regolith gets piped off elsewhere. I think that may actually work. Aavak, friendly time check. Thank you very much. Wow, okay. We did go about 5 minutes over, but thank you. We will get that sorted in just a moment. Let me just lay down the plans for what I was going to do, lest I forget. Oh, poop. Much sadness. I mean, I guess I could just use... No, a power transformer is going to generate heat as well. Yeah. Oh, well. I'm just going to have to run heavy watt wire up then. Which side does it need to go in? It needs to go in the top. That's fine. I can just orient the top upwards. That won't be an issue. This will eventually run off and join the main grid, but for now, this is the main thing I need to do. Conveyor rails. Need to break this conveyor rail. Then this will come out and down. And it should work. Okay, let's slow things down. New principles are available. Lots of buildings lack resources. Yes, this is a common problem. Let's go and have a look what we got. Fungal spores, I'll take it. I shouldn't. I have no use for it really. What is our stockpile of? Ooh, how long we got? Only 8 cycles to go. You know what? That isn't actually that bad. We've done well on the amount of generators we used there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty happy with it actually. Pretty happy. Now, we are probably going to want to pull the CO2 in this room out frequently because we can't allow this room to get too hot, but we also want the CO2 to exist in here so that it is a medium. So we're going to have a fairly high threshold of pulling out. Like if it's over 3 kilos, then we activate a gas pump to try and extract a little bit of it, but only a little, because we don't want to empty the gases that are in here. What's the current temperature in here? 130. Yeah, we can't do anything with that. Need more time, unfortunately. We do need more time. But, you know, every time we get enough power to run these, it rises the temperature a little bit. These are always raising the temperature a little bit as well. So, you know, we're getting there. It's just getting there a bit slower than we would like. Is there any other building jobs down? There's loads of building jobs down here that can get someone killed. So how about before I step away, we stop that. Because otherwise I'll come back to a dead dupe. You know it. I know it. We all know it. It's what would happen. Have we ducked down yet? It's further up. No, we haven't done. No, that one's fine. We can take care of that one without problem. All right then. So, with this done, I'm gonna go AFK for a bit. Right. I'm gonna need. Why did I pull that away? Oh, I'm such a dip. Let's pop that back. Thank you. Who are we gonna follow? We are gonna follow. Let's follow Manu, because Manu's going to be all over the place. Manu is a very, very busy duplicant. Super busy, in fact. Okay, we're going to be going on a 5-7 minute break. Time enough to stretch your legs, grab a drink, etc., etc. And we shall rendezvous back here in time to hopefully not see anyone die.